Right guys, part C then, these two lines L1 and L2, which we'll look at in a moment because we've drawn the sketch, intersect at the point D. We need to show that D has coordinates 1, 4. Then we need to find the length of BD. Remember B is that point there, so it's just a matter of using Pythag from here to here. That's fairly easy. And find the coordinates of the midpoint BD. So once you know the coordinate of D, which we have given here, we could do this question without having to do this, couldn't we? We could still proceed with 2 and 3, which is good to know in a test that you can do parts of a question even though you can't do preceding parts. Okay then, let's have a look at this one. D has coordinates 1, 4. Well, lines L1 and L2 are mentioned here, so let's mark off the D where they intersect. Don't suppose that that is the 0 value on the X. We don't know what the coordinates are here. So that's what we'll find out when these two lines intersect. So let's go down, write down the two lines in question then, in convenient format. So we've got that one there, so I'll put that over here. We've got x plus 2y minus 9 equals 0. That's labelled 1, say. And this one, I'm going to rearrange it. I'm going to move the minus, no, I'm going to leave the 2x where it is. Move the y to be minus y. Agreed? And then we've got plus 2, haven't we? And that equals 0. So we've got our two equations then. So let's find out where they intersect. Simultaneous equations. So let's have a go at part C. So here, what can we do? Because these are opposite signs, we can add them. Two of these and one of those, the y's will disappear and we'll find out what x is. So 2 times this, 2 times equation 2 plus equation 1 gives, slightly written the wrong way around there, gives, what do we get? 2 times equation 2, 2 of these, 4x, plus one of those is x, that's 5x. And then 2 of these, minus 2y, plus one of those, 2y, they cancel, that's why we're doing it. 2 of these, 4, plus one of those, minus 9. 4 minus 9 is minus 5, equals 0. So 5x will equal 5 then, won't it? And straight away we can see what x is, can't we? Divide by 5 both sides, we'll move the 5 from times to divide, and you see that x is 1. So at x, x equals 1, 2, because that's the easier one to deal with, implies that y equals, now I've moved that y over there, and it's simply 2x plus 2. Basically it's this thing here, 2 lots of x plus 2, put the x value in, 2 and 2 is 4. So D has coordinates 1 and 4, which is what we needed to show. Now we know D, the coordinate B, which we've got in our diagram at the top, let's just get it. Coordinate of B is minus 5, 12. There's D, which was 1 and 4. Now we need to work out the length BD. So let's just draw that length in there. It's a Pythag triangle, B to D. So what I'll do, because I'm using this picture here, I'll just draw our Pythag triangle here in the sketch, and we can look at the triangle. B to D, we go horizontally, we go from minus 5 to 1, that's a distance of 6, isn't it, horizontally? Upwards we go, so to speak, this distance here is a distance from 4 up to 12. D is 4, that's positive, yeah. So it's completely different to how I've drawn it, of course, that's just a sketch. But it goes from 4 to 12, so that's a height of 8. So trust in the numbers rather than the sketch, of course, we can see what that is. It's a 6, 8, 10, isn't it? A 3, 4, 5 doubled up, 6, 8, 10. So let's do that then, BD. So since B equals the coordinates, what was it? Minus 5, 12. Length BD then, let's just write that down for the reader to see clearly what we're doing. Length of BD is the square root of the 6 squared, as we said. The difference between the x's, difference between the y's is 8, so that's 8 squared. That's 36, that's 64, it's the square root of 100. which we know to be 10. Okay, that's length BD then. Now we need the midpoint. So midpoint, all we need to do is add the x values and the y values together and divide by 2 for both. So the midpoint here, 1 and minus 5 added together gives minus 4. Divide that by 2, you get minus 2. And 4 and 12 gives 16. Divide by 2, you get 8. And you might want to show your workings here. I've just written down the answer for the midpoint because it might just ensure the examiner that you actually knew what you were doing in it. It's good to double check it anyway. So let's just double check it in our mind's eye. 1 and minus 5 is minus 4. Divide by 2 is minus 2. 4 and 12 is 16. Divide by 2 is 8. 8 is 4 above 4 and 4 below 12. So that is the midpoint there. Minus 2 is 3 below 1. And minus 2 is 3 above minus 5. So yeah, that looks fine. And that's question 1 done. Great.